Right now, somewhere in your pocket or on the table beside you, your phone is waiting. You haven't touched it in 11 minutes. That feels like a long time. Your hand is already moving toward it before you've even decided to pick it up. You tell yourself it's because you're bored or because you're waiting for a message. But the real answer is far stranger. It has nothing to do with your phone at all. It has to do with a brain that was built for a completely different world. A world without screens. A world where checking your surroundings wasn't a habit. It was survival. Picture your ancestors 40,000 years ago. They're sitting in a small clearing, surrounded by trees. The light is fading. Every few seconds, without thinking, their eyes move. To the tree line, to the shadows, to the sound of a branch snapping somewhere in the dark. This wasn't anxiety. This was maintenance. A constant, low-effort scan of the environment for anything that changed. Why? Because change meant information. And information, for a creature living in the open, could mean the difference between eating dinner and becoming dinner. Your brain rewards this scanning behavior. Every time you check and find nothing dangerous, you get a tiny hit of relief. Every time you check and find something new, you get a tiny hit of interest. Both feel good. Both feel necessary. Neither one ever truly turns off. Now fast forward to today. The trees are gone, the predators are gone, but the scanning circuitry is still fully online and it still needs something to scan. Enter the phone. Dr. Wolfram Schultz, a neuroscientist at Cambridge, spent decades studying a brain chemical called dopamine. For a long time, people assumed dopamine was simply the pleasure chemical. Schultz's research showed something more precise. Dopamine isn't released when you get a reward. It's released in anticipation of a reward, especially when that reward is uncertain. Uncertain. That word matters more than almost any other word in this video. If you knew with total certainty that there was nothing new on your phone, you wouldn't feel the pull to check it. The pull exists because you don't know. Maybe there's a message, maybe there isn't. Maybe someone liked your post. Maybe no one did. That tiny maybe is doing almost all the work. This is sometimes called a variable ratio reward schedule. You've experienced it before, even if you've never heard the term. It's the same mechanism that makes slot machines so compelling. You don't win every time. You don't even win most of the time, but you might win this time. And that might is enough to keep a hand reaching for the lever or the phone again and again. B.F. Skinner, the psychologist who first formalized this idea in the 1950s, ran experiments with pigeons and levers. Pigeons that received food every single time they pressed a lever eventually got bored and stopped pressing it. Predictable rewards lose their pull, but pigeons that received food only sometimes on an unpredictable schedule kept pressing the lever obsessively, even long after the food stopped coming entirely. Sound familiar? Every time you unlock your phone, you are, in a very real sense, pressing the lever. Sometimes there's a message. Sometimes there's nothing. Your brain doesn't know which it will be until the screen lights up. And that 1 or 2 seconds of not knowing is precisely the moment your dopamine system fires hardest. But there's a second piece to this puzzle, and it's even older than dopamine. It's about belonging. For nearly all of human history, you lived in a small group, maybe 20 people, maybe 50. These people were your entire world. Your safety, your food, your ability to raise children who survived to adulthood, all of it depended on staying connected to that group. If the group didn't like you, didn't trust you, or didn't include you, your odds of survival dropped sharply. So your brain developed an early warning system for social standing. Constantly, quietly, in the background, it asks questions like, am I still part of this group? Did something change in how others see me? Is there a threat to my position here? Anthropologist Robin Dunbar, known for his research on social group sizes, has spent years studying how human brains track relationships. His work suggests that humans are cognitively wired to monitor a surprisingly large web of social connections, constantly updating a kind of internal map of where everyone stands. That map used to be updated by conversation, by eye contact, by who sat near you at the fire. Now it's updated by notifications. A like, a comment, a message left unread. Each one is a tiny data point feeding into that ancient social map. Did something change? Am I still in good standing? Your brain treats these signals with the same seriousness it once gave to whether the group was about to leave you behind on a hunting trip. This is why an unanswered text can feel disproportionately heavy. Logically, you know it's just a message. But the part of your brain processing it doesn't fully distinguish between "they haven't replied yet" and "something has shifted in my social position." Both register faintly as the same kind of alert. Here's where it gets stranger. Researchers studying attention have found that the mere presence of a phone, even turned off, even face down, can measurably reduce a person's ability to focus. A 2017 study led by Adrian Ward at the University of Texas found that simply having your phone in the room, not using it, just having it nearby, reduced available cognitive capacity. The brain spends a small amount of energy simply tracking the fact that the device is there. Available. Possible. Possible is the key word again. Your brain isn't reacting to your phone. It's reacting to what your phone might contain. Think about how strange this actually is. A flat rectangle of glass and metal, sitting silently on a table, is influencing your thinking simply by existing nearby. Not because of anything it's doing, because of everything it could be doing. Your ancestors never had to deal with a single object that represented an entire social network, a constant stream of novel information, and an unpredictable reward system, all at once, all glowing, all within arm's reach, at every hour of the day. Their scanning circuitry got a break. At night, there was nothing left to scan but stars and silence. Your scanning circuitry never gets that break because the thing it's scanning for is always charged, always nearby, and always capable of producing something new. So when you reach for your phone without deciding to, you're not weak. You're not broken. You're running ancient software on hardware it was never designed for. The good news is that once you see the mechanism, it loses some of its grip. Uncertainty is what drives the pull. So when you remove the uncertainty, even slightly, the pull weakens. People who turn off non-essential notifications often report a strange initial discomfort, followed by a noticeable quieting of that background hum. Not because the world got less interesting, because the maybe got smaller. Some researchers have also pointed to something called boredom as a kind of evolutionary alarm bell. Dr. Sandy Mann, a psychologist who has studied boredom extensively, suggests that boredom isn't a flaw in your brain. It's a signal. It's your mind telling you that your current environment has stopped offering anything new, and that you should go look for something that does. For most of human history, that signal pushed people outward, toward exploration, toward conversation, toward noticing something in the world around them. Today, that same signal gets answered in under a second by the most efficient novelty delivery device ever built. Right now, somewhere in your pocket or on the table beside you, your phone is waiting. And so is something else. A version of you that existed long before phones, long before screens, long before notifications. A version of you that just wants to know if anything in the environment has changed. It always has. It always will. The only difference now is how quickly you can check.